Hello, everyone. It's William and Barnaby here at Allegory Gallery. I hope you're doing well. It's Friday. We made it all to Friday, right? So hooray. Ooh, Barnaby, watch the kid. Watch the stand, buddy. So we made it to Friday. How are you all doing? I got my hair cut. How about that? Barnaby's purring very hard. We got to go out a little bit last night or this morning. It's been raining here in Ligonier. So Barnaby and I and Gilbert went out onto the porch because the porch is covered. But nobody ventured too far off the porch because it was raining too much. So that's how our day started. I've been at the store. We had a nice group of people in for classes today. So if you came in for classes, thank you so much. We had some regulars in, and it was good to see people. But it's been a rainy day here in Ligonier. Absolutely rainy day. It has been raining pretty much nonstop all day long. So that's what it's like here. I was up at Star Cottage Studio today as well, working on some packing and some questions we had with packing and shipping orders. And then we realized that, oh, Barnaby, getting wild with that stand. Say hi, Barn. Then we realized that the post office is closed today for Veterans Day, right? So, whoop, coughing. Oh, you're purring so good, Barnaby. So, yeah, so we packed a lot of packages, but could not ship them because the post office is closed, rightfully so, on today. We appreciate all of our veterans today out there. So if you are one or if you know one, thank you for your service. Thank them for their service today. And so we had the store open mostly because it was a Friday and it was a class day. And we figured if people were off or they wanted to come in together and make things, it would be a good thing for people to do on such a rainy day. So it was nice to see people. And like I said, I went up to Star Cottage Studio for a little bit today. Been back and forth, driving around a lot today. Then I came back to the store, and as I was coming in the door, I bumped one of the trays in the store. And of course, which tray was it? The tray with the most tiny assortment of beads or charms. And they used to be in individual little compartments for these tiny little charms. Now they are all together. So I kind of I'm gonna take my sweater off. It's warm in here. I kind of said, you know what? I'm not doing this today. So I grabbed them off the floor, threw them in the thing together, and threw them in the back room. So there's another thing that I'm going to find one day in the back room and be like, oh, I remember doing this. No, I'm going to have to sort them out soon because they are Christmas charms and holiday charms, Hanukkah and Christmas charms. So I have to sort them again. But that's not my fun thing to do. Not at all. Let's see, who's with us today? Marianne is with us. Thank you for joining us. Suzanne. Norma is with us. Susie. Suzanne says 80s today, tomorrow in the 30s. We are in the 60s today. We hit mid 60s. And I think we're supposed to be close to the 30s too this weekend. And we're supposed to have snow flurries this weekend is what I've been told. I have not looked at the weather forecast because just knowing that is enough for me. I do like cold weather. I like the snow. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. But I have not changed my wardrobe over yet. Like I'm still in t-shirts today. I haven't changed my wardrobe over and found all my sweaters and all my heavy, stuff. So got to start looking into that too. So how are y'all? What's going on? How was your week? We've been chatting a lot here, I know, but usually we stay kind of on topic a little bit. We talk about the weather and things, but how was your week? How was your week out there? Are you having a good one? We talk sometimes about, we have a business coach. And yesterday we went to a meeting for one of the groups that we're in. It's kind of the wrap-up meeting as this group is kind of graduating and moving on to other things. And we went out and had some dinner with them, and we kind of all got together and talked about how was the experience, and just things like that. And it was really nice to see those people. It's a group of small business owners. They're all small business owners. They're all, trying really hard to make an area, which is Johnstown. That's where our new building is. It's one of the reasons we got this new building, is because of everything going on with this group. And it's really nice to see these people. Johnstown is an area right now that is going through kind of a rebirth. At least that's what we're hoping. And we're trying to help Johnstown with that rebirth. There's Andrew. Hello, Andrew.
Howdy.
How you doing?
Tired.
Andrew has been up all night, and just got a little nap today. But he's been working on another project for someone else that we're working on. But we got together with that group, and it was really great to spend time with these other business owners, and really connect with them. And kind of, we don't, even though we're in this group together, we don't always get to chat very much together. And so when we do have these meetups, which this one's mandatory, right? So most of us were there, and we had a good time. It was a nice time, and we went over kind of the things that we learned, and there was a lot of growth. A lot of the companies in this group are just starting out, or within their first year or 3 years or so. And it was really special to see how much they've grown. Some people have brought on employees. Some people have, doubled their sales. Some people have, they're working on actually believing that they may be able to leave their full-time job and venture and just live off their business. So some of them are getting studio space outside of their house, which they never thought would be a thing.
I wish we had that when we were.
I know it's really, for us, it was beneficial in a lot of ways, but for them, for the people just starting out, we were talking on the ride home how it would have been so nice to have something like that during our startup phase.
We try to be that for other people.
Yeah, we try to help other people. We try to, kind of be, like the big brothers that can help out, and, try to help anyone who's starting a business and guide them. And that's why, we've done some videos just on small business basics and etiquette and social media and things like that, just to try to help as much as we can reach out there. And even if we don't know you, hopefully in some way we can help. And so that was a really fun thing we did last night. And it lasted longer than I thought it was going to last. But yeah. Oh, somebody's saying sorry. So I don't know what people are saying sorry about. Let's see. Susan says, stressful due to the election. Yeah, I think everybody, no matter what side you were on, this election was absolutely very stressful. And, I wish I could say that it was going to get better. But Suzanne says, my week has been fairly good, but a friend of mine has entered hospice care. I'm very sorry. That's what the sorries are about. That's a hard thing, right? Generally, I guess the one thing that you can get out of that is that they won't suffer, right? Hospice care works hard to make sure that people don't suffer when they go there, but it is a hard thing. My grandfather went through hospice care. Both of my grandfathers did as they were passing, and it's hard. It's a hard thing. So I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for your friend.
I think with the election, there's so many things that are outside of our control. You can campaign all you want, you can donate, you can do all these things and still come short of your goal. Even if you get everything you want, sometimes you don't get everything you want.
Yeah. And I think part of that, like as makers and as small business owners, like a lot of you are, you're in control of a lot of stuff, right? We kind of forge our own ways and forge our own paths. And it's hard sometimes to mentally deal with the fact that you can do so much with politics, but You can't make everything happen.
I think the nice thing though is that we have each other.
Yeah, we're lucky.
We are community builders, and we have a rare opportunity to make small changes, even if they're not, even if they're interpersonally one to one. We can make a change and difference within each other's lives.
And within our small communities, because a lot of us live in small communities, or even larger communities, but we can make the change that we can make, and we can show the people who we are and try to live our lives in a way that matters to people,
and learn and grow as well.
Right. Norma says, I'm taking Heather Powers' 3-day Monet bead retreat. My first day today, making polymer clay beads, and just came out of the oven. Fun learning something new. That's awesome, Norma.
So where are you, Norma? How come you're not hanging out with Heather?
That's not isn't it
online.
A virtual? I think it's a virtual retreat.
Oh, I thought it was in person. I was like, what you doing on
what
here?
You doing watching us?
If you want to blow it up and put on the big
Everybody
screen,
can watch together, but
I'm sure Heather would love it.
Yeah.
She actually probably wouldn't mind, but
Amanda says things are a mess in Ontario. It's very stressful. I don't know what kind of mess that is, but what's going on up there?
It's down below, trickling up.
The problem politics trickling up. Norma says, "Oh, it finished at 4 p.m. It's on Zoom." Yeah, like if you have the chance to be hanging out with Heather, you should be hanging out with Heather, right? If it's an in-person thing, we do love Heather. We've had her in Ligonier a number of times.
We wanted to have her again. We were gonna do one that was on Shooting Stars and Starry Night, and it was timed during a meteor shower, so we were going to go out and look at the meteors, and it's also around her birthday in August.
Would have been fun,
but then the pandemic happened, and
not meant to be.
Nothing happened. Then it all died.
Let's see here. Education and healthcare, Amanda says. Issues with education and healthcare. Same issues, right?
It's getting Wild West up in here.
Yeah, it is. People are getting crazy. But we don't talk about too many politics here.
Yeah, he has to remind me.
Andrew will start going.
I'm like, well.
He gets the soapbox out, puts it down, stands on it.
Let me tell you from a brown gay person what I think about that.
I know, but we try to be inclusive and also a safe space and also just a place to breathe, right?
Yeah,
a place to
too much of it coming at you from every other angle.
You can scroll through the other Facebook stuff and it's like you can't escape it, but this is supposed to be a little bit of an escape. Not that we don't care, we fight in our own ways, and we do things in our own ways, but these videos don't need to be riling people up, right? As much as sometimes we'd like to do that.
I will do it. William told me not to, though.
Jermaine says, I'm with you, Andrew. Amanda says, there's no children's fever medicine. Children's hospitals are... Thought I was going to sneeze. Children's hospitals are jammed. It's scary.
That is scary.
That is very scary.
Is it COVID related or is it something new?
As much as I can take things when they happen to adults, like adults cause their own issues, right? And adults cause issues in general. But when it happens to kids, that's the sad part. That's really sad. Yeah,
for as much as we like kids more than we like adults, you'd think we'd have kids.
I know.
But oh well.
You never know. Now. We could adopt a 6-year-old and be right about on time.
I don't know. I wake up tired. So.
I know that's the problem. I already wake up tired. We don't have. We have kids in business. Our business kids. Allegory Gallery is like a kid.
And our cats.
And our cats are our babies. They are our babies. Marianne says, "For me, you are preaching to the converted, Andrew."
Oh, good.
Yep. We know most y'all kind of follow along the same lines as us.
Even if you don't, though, we are still mutually respectful.
Right.
That's the most important thing.
That's the thing. I just saw something today, and it was, of course, a photo, a meme, but it said, just because I disagree with you doesn't mean I hate you. And I think that's where we kind of have to kind of come back to, right? Now, there are people who are trying to take away our marriage, and there are people who are trying to take away women's rights, or have already.
And then there are some people who are just annoying.
And so, there are people that, yeah, obviously you're never going to come to terms, and they don't need to be in your life. But there are small disagreements that, with this whole thing, have blown up into such big things that aren't always big things. But we're all so maxed out that we get into a lot of arguments, even within, like, we're very liberal, obviously, but even within that, we have gotten into arguments with other very liberal people about the weirdest things sometimes, or the smallest things.
Well, apparently we're not allowed to have opinions on women's rights.
Andrew's been told that.
And I can see it. I don't want to be in the spotlight when somebody else should have that space.
Right.
But at the same time, they said we're not allowed to have any opinion.
Yeah.
And that's like, wow.
And it's like, do you want an ally or not?
Yeah.
So, but we get things like that, and we have to sometimes remember that, we don't, just because we disagree on some things doesn't mean we need to hate each other or need to, be at each other's throats. Amanda says COVID and respiratory virus like RSV and influenza is what's happening.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's probably good we don't have kids then.
Right? All those kid problems, poor kids.
Well, when I picked up my niece once from school, I saw one of the other kids sneeze on the back of her head. And I was like, oh!
There was a meme video going around like that. I don't know if you shared it with me or if I just saw it. There's these kids, they're standing there, they're doing a choir. It's like a singing class for little kids. And this one kid just sneezed like everywhere, and this little girl she looks up at him, she stops singing, and she's like, and she looks right at the camera, and she's like,
all right, that's me.
It reminded me of Andrew a lot.
Yeah, because like people do it like that. So during Fort Days, I was walking around, and there was a ton of people. Like, I'm talking wall to wall people. They didn't come in our store, but outside there was wall to wall people. And so I was walking to the store, and I had my mask on because there was a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody was rearing up to sass me and was in the middle of saying something about how COVID's not real and how I'm delusional or whatever. And then somebody sneezed on the back of their head. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's like, of course I cackled under my mask. But
there are so few times in life that instant karma happens. And when it does, it's like the most sweet thing in the whole world, right?
Needless to say, they got quiet.
Right. And
oh, wow.
It's like when somebody's like tailgating you, and then they pass you in like a no passing zone, and then the police sirens happen. I'm still waiting for that, but in my mind, it's the sweetest thing.
Something happened similar to that, where somebody was riding our bumper. I mean, I could have reached back and offered them a beverage. They were so close. And then all of a sudden, we had to hit the brakes because there was a deer in the road. And the deer was like going to put on a show.
Yeah, the deer kept walking back and forth, strutting back and forth on the road. It was a
prancing.
Buck. It was a buck. It was like, yeah.
It was like, look at me, look at me. It was like a young one too, so it was like proud.
Yeah.
Loud and proud.
I think it was also confused. It's like, what is happening? There are lights and this, and so the car behind us, because they were like right here, they had to swerve, and they came up like almost right beside us, and we were like, oh. That's why you don't follow people like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you go 35 on the 35-mile-an-hour road.
In the dark.
In the dark. In the misty dark.
And then after that, they didn't follow.
They were
so
like
close.
18 car lengths behind us after
They
that.
got scared straight. Who
So,
remembers that show?
right?
I don't know if I mentioned that to somebody young, and they're like, "I don't think you can talk about that anymore."
What is it?
That Scared Straight, where
Oh,
they
yeah,
brought
that
the
was
children into the prison.
you throw the children in the prison. Marianne says, I love those instant karma moments, right? Marianne says, hate is an obstacle we need to try to overcome. Men should be allowed opinion on women's issues, just not stupid ones.
Correct.
Right? Yeah.
Well, it's one
You know
thing.
what?
It's like, it's not. It doesn't necessarily directly impact me, but I want to be able to support the people
Right.
who make the decisions.
Because a lot of our friends are not gay or lesbian or bi or any of those, and yet we still welcome the support when things come up for a vote or people need to be voted into office or voted out of office who are going to affect our lives. We welcome that support.
Yeah, we don't do it just by ourselves.
No. I mean, if it were just by ourselves, we would still have no rights, honestly.
Honestly, I thought we would never have rights.
I know.
To be perfectly honest.
Susie can't figure it out, can't chat during the live. You're chatting right now? You are there?
You may not see everybody's thing.
Yeah, you won't see everybody's because you're on YouTube, so you will only see other YouTube comments. I see them all because our program aggregates them. Is that the word? Aggregates them from the other Facebook destinations. So you can chat, and I say the comments for everybody. I try and say most of them. Suzanne says karma. Yes, karma. I like when karma happens immediately and I can see the effect of it.
That's not because we're hateful. It's just
I think most people believe
pleasures in life.
Right. I think most people understand that. Let's see here. Diane says, hello, home and feeding the dogs now. Did you take the cases, Diane? Did you remember them? I was reminding her to take those cases that I brought down.
Oh.
And she said, since you just told me I should remember, I said, yeah, I would probably still forget. So,
I left them, they should be nice and chilled. I left them on the porch overnight.
Right. Suzanne says, a friend texted me asking if my husband knows I'm LGBTQ plus friendly. Right?
That's
They're
nice.
like your husband's not gonna like that or something.
That's called a nosy.
That's called a Mrs. Kravitz.
In Pennsylvania, there's a word for it. It's called nebby.
Nebby. Nebby. Nebby. You're nebby, you got to know what's going on. I know some of y'all out there. I've been watching who doesn't watch these videos, so I won't mention their name, but they have one of these neighbors, and they're looking in my window, asking my other neighbor about me. I'm like, just, calm yourself. You don't need to know what's going on with everybody all the time. Susan says, instant karma is cool, and a little bit of Schadenfreude once in a while is cool too.
I don't know what that is.
Suzanne says, I blocked her, right? Yeah. That if they're asking you questions like that, that means they don't support, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the kind of
That's
people.
A weird thing.
Right? What are they trying to do? Get between you and your husband? Like, what did they think was going to happen?
That your husband would be like, oh, we have to get divorced because.
Right? Oh, Suzanne, you can't do it. Like, your husband's going to be the boss, right?
I don't know. Maybe in their thing is because somebody was telling me about their relationship. I was like, incorrect. If William did any of that, it will be not good.
Yeah. Oh, Susie can only chat if you disconnect from your TV.
Oh.
Sometimes that happens. We have an Apple TV, and I think there's a way on the remote to make the live pop up on the TV so you can continue chatting, but I can't remember it now. So I don't know what you are using. But yeah, I think when you broadcast to the TV, sometimes it blanks out your screen. Sometimes there's a way to get around that. We use the YouTube app itself and do it that way, and I think that allows us to do the chat. But if
we just go on the phone.
Yeah, you go to YouTube app and broadcast from there. But if you're broadcasting from your phone and sharing to your TV, I think it does block that.
Is it Susie White?
Yeah.
How is she? How's the hurricanes?
How's everything, everybody? Are you all dealing with hurricanes?
Sandra, she's in Florida.
My aunt was even asking about your sister because apparently they were coming up through North Carolina.
I don't know. They're in the mountains. So
yeah,
they usually don't get
usually
anything.
pretty. That's what I told her. I said, hopefully no news is good news because we haven't heard anything bad, and surely someone in the family would have heard something if there was something going on.
I don't know about the Titusville house, though.
Amanda says, does your husband know you're obsessed with beads? Mine does, right? There's the thing, right? I know.
I like crafts of all sorts.
I don't think people, I mean,
That's like when somebody's tattletales on me to William.
yeah, I'm like,
I was like,
I think I know him better than any of you. Like,
correct.
like it's like,
Oh my gosh, that was so. I'm like, I'm embarrassed for you.
right.
What did you think was going to happen?
Right. Susan says it's time to do something obnoxious when the neighbors get too nosy. I had a really annoying manager who would stare at me when he strolled by. When he did that, I'd reach for my tissue and blow my nose. You stare back, right?
Who's that one?
Susan.
Our
Surreal.
Oh, I was like, our neighbor.
No.
I
But
was
yeah.
like, am I that neighbor peeking out the window?
No, we don't usually peek out the window. We close our curtains in our house are pretty much closed all the time.
I know, but except for my eyeball and Gilbert.
You and Gilbert peek out.
Neighborhood watch.
Right.
Me and Cynthia, neighborhood watch. Patrol the town.
Patrol the town.
What you doing over there?
Susan says, your bracelet is cool, William. This one?
Yeah,
It's
you did
two.
a good job.
I had to redo it because I'm not a person who wears jewelry. So y'all out there who wear bracelets with lobster claws, good on y'all, because I could not make that work. Like I'm like here trying to do the contortion of the ages, trying to get this latch to work. So I took them apart because one of the lobster claws also broke in my overextending it to try to, grab it and hook it at the same time. I know there are things for that. There are clips and things you can use to help, and I can get Andrew to help, but if you can't put on your own bracelet, I'm like, that's hard times. So I switched them to magnetic. I had two gunmetal magnetic clasps left in the store, so I took them.
I can give you some gunmetal crimp covers if you
Yeah,
want.
I need crimp covers because I ran out of those. I got to order those too.
We have them.
Do we?
We have many.
Good. I'm glad I didn't buy them.
Different styles.
I'm glad I didn't buy any then. I was about to place the order today. He says, but we have them.
Because I counted them when I was at the store. So who knows? They're probably underneath the counter.
I looked under the counter because I know sometimes we had them there, but I haven't seen them.
Or back behind. I don't know, but we bought gallons.
Susan says toggles just work better for me. Yeah, I was going to put a nice toggle on these, but then I'm like, I don't know if they're going to fall off. And I didn't want them to fall off. But now the magnets fall off anyway because I'm too rough with them. Probably how I broke the lobster claw on the other one.
Probably got a caught.
So, no, the lobster claw was actually me trying to contort and hold it really too hard.
You know you have a husband.
That's what I was just saying. I know that I can ask for help to put them on, but at the same time, if you can't put on your own bracelet sometimes, now I can put them on myself. The magnets
it's okay to ask for help, William.
I know I am very bad with that. I have to be reminded
Unless
sometimes.
I'm sleeping.
And usually he's sleeping when I'm getting ready. So, but I always mention with magnets, if you have a hearing aid or a pacemaker, don't use those.
Correct.
Because that's not good. That can short things out. So,
speaking of magnets, we have magnets that are going to go. I'm hoping tonight we're going to be able to list them.
Yeah, at least some of them. We'll see.
We've been working hard, yo.
Yeah, it's been crazy. So Andrew's been working on this other project. So that's what he's working on today during the day. And then tonight, we're hoping we can get the magnetic. They're not all going to be magnets because you all said you don't all want magnets. So we're going to add the option for you to have your own magnet if you'd like it.
It's called All My Little Words. Is that what it is? All My Word. It's that Magnetic Field song.
Yeah. I think it's All My Little Words. So we're doing an All My Little. We did these in hearts one time, and they were just art pieces. They were not magnets, but we made them.
They had holes.
They
hang them.
Andrew made them. I didn't make them. Andrew made them this time in squares, which I showed you some of them. I don't think I have one here even. But we showed them to you in the other live video yesterday, I think. And they have words on them. They're going to be, I think, $25 each. So we can't do too much work to them because Andrew already did the backgrounds.
That took a long time.
And spent a long time on those.
I was like, I'll do something quick. So that means waiting for things to dry and then sanding my fingertips off.
Right. So we have to do a little bit of touch up. We did the lasering, and that took a few hours to get them all lasered. And then we're going to work on them tonight to hopefully get them done.
I want to finish the backs too.
Oh.
But that's
okay.
not.
It's not going to be tonight then, folks.
It is. It is.
It's not going to be online tonight then, folks.
It is. You'll be fine. We got to pay for our New York trip. I've been lining up my food stops, and apparently we are too poor for living in New York. So
yeah, we are.
I know, and I'm not going to eat ramen in the there.
Hi, Barn. So maybe they'll be up tonight. Maybe they'll be up tomorrow.
We're gonna push hard.
Because if not, I'll be taking pictures of them tomorrow.
Did you tell them about yesterday's bait gives? I have
not yet.
I've been running down, up and down, y'all. That's why I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that in a little bit because I was going to talk about that too. Susie says, have had enough of rain and wind. Can we please get hurricane season over with? Yeah. We've not had a lot of rain here.
It rained all night.
Today, but not in general.
Yeah,
like this season has been dry.
You're confused. It rained 4 feet this year. Maybe it was at Touchstone that it rained 4 feet.
Yeah,
but
have you driven to Latrobe? It is dry.
I don't know what happened.
Dry.
Somebody drained it out.
Somebody drained it. All the rivers are like dry.
All summer long it rained.
Not enough.
I don't know. I
was watering those pear trees like it was life or death, and it was.
They're out in the middle.
They still get wet in the rain. They especially get wet in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
You still have to water things.
Okay. Where are we at? Oh, Barnaby.
I think one of our pear trees is dead.
It's not dead, but it's not doing great because I was bending it to see if it was still alive, and they were all still alive, but we'll see if they come back. The deer keep eating them. We need to put fences around them.
Deer.
Amanda's asking, did you pay for those connectors, right? They're mine. I'm allowed to take them.
You forgot inventory.
Right.
That's the perks of having a bead store.
Right. Y'all. Susan says, I've heard of teachers and school aides who are required to have magnetic clasps for their lanyards. Not good. Whoa.
Barnaby is
trying. I know he's trying to give me kisses, and I'm ignoring his kissing. He's not liking it.
He wants to be on the camera.
He's gonna eat my finger now.
William get obsessed with the cat.
There he is. That's my buddy.
He's like, this is not the way. This is not.
Aren't you handsome? Look at show your.
I have to show it.
Show your handsome self. Yeah. Okay, and then hello Harry. Thank you for joining in. Jermaine says, be careful around shopping carts too, or your bracelet may end up on the cart. I know. I have to be careful because I am around metal stuff a lot. So it's like, but so far so good. Mostly I've just disconnected them, taking off my sweater. Susan asked, what kind of food in New York City, Andrew?
A lot.
A lot.
So there's these Korean pockets. I posted about it on my personal timeline earlier. And I want those. Those aren't super expensive, and they have vegetarian options. But it's in the east side. East Village. No. Lower East Side, maybe? Somewhere around there.
It's going to be so different being there after like 10 years away.
Yeah, I was looking up places that we used to go, and a lot of them is not there anymore, or they're very different. They're not.
Actually like 12 years away.
I don't know.
It's like twice the time I was actually there.
Tomorrow's our anniversary.
I know, our actual anniversary.
Of meeting.
The night we met. November 12th, 2007. Cinnamon says, hi, Barnaby. Kelly, hey, Kelly. Kelly McCoy
Oh,
says, Andrew needs a vacay.
yeah, one day.
Amanda
Probably
says,
not.
Amanda says,
anytime
does
soon.
Barnaby have a story for us?
Probably.
Marion says, dear love little trees for snacks. You're telling me. Some of those little pears would get the most beautiful little leaves, lots of little leaves, and I come the next day and they were gone. So we should have put up wire netting around them, but we didn't. We bought it. Well, we have it. We also bought things to keep the trees stable. We didn't put those on yet because they're a little bit young.
They're too
I
young.
think they're too young for that yet. So we'll see. We'll see what pears we get. The one tree was pushing leaves and it stopped completely, but the deer were eating it. So hopefully it comes back next year. And it's just saving up all that energy for a beautiful tree next year.
Yeah, it's just gonna outpace the deer.
Right. Amanda says, Barnaby is so sweet. Kelly says, handsome kitty. Susan says, happy meeting anniversary. Bonnie says, William, did you get a haircut? I did. I got a haircut today. That was one of my things today. Before I knocked over the whole tray of charms. I know. Diane was nice though. She said, I will sort them. She says sorting is good for me. So I may have to bring Diane in next week to sort these charms. Because they're the Christmas and holiday charms. And of course it was the tiniest bin of charms, like a large bin, but the tiniest charms. And when they fell on the floor, they all intermingled. But I bumped it walking by with my bag because I was carrying too much stuff. And I said, oh, I'm going to come in the front door today instead of the back hallway because I have so much stuff. Our back hallway is very narrow, so it's hard to get through. And I said, I'll come in the front. This will be great. And then I knocked over the charms. Which is what I tell people anyway, because so many people come in the store and they hit that same area. And I'm like, don't worry. Happens all the time. Well, it happened today.
I used to put duct tape on the bottom of problematic trays.
Yeah, but these are the ones that stack.
Oh,
so it was the top level. Of course, the littlest charms with the most in that bin were on the top. So that happened. And then I went to the cottage again, like I said, and somebody in our class wanted some of our AG Fine Pewter. So I brought some of those back for them to look at. And I need to put some of those in the store. We don't have them in the store. They're only online. So I think I need to make some kind of display for them in the store at some point. Because I think people would buy more and see them more if they were in the store. And we have lots of fun ones, lots of interesting things. Susan says, almost as hard as dropping a bunch of spacers or seed beads. I know.
You have to be careful with that.
I drop a bunch of seed beads, unless it's like a lot, they go in the vacuum. That's what happens. But if it's like a whole bag of them, because we buy them by the bag, then it's sad times. So
you have to be careful because I've stepped on them and they've shattered and gone in my foot.
Yeah, if you're in bare feet, you got to be careful with those. Yeah. So what else is going on, everybody?
What is people's favorite AG Fine Pewter piece?
There you go. There's a question. There's a question for you.
Or what one do you have your eye on if you've not got one yet?
Yeah, what's your favorite AG Fine Pewter? Let us know. Maybe we'll do a giveaway in this Dutch chat video. Give away some fine pewter beads.
Maybe.
I'm
working on 4 kits.
4 kits.
So those should be debuting soon.
Marianne says hedgehogs.
Those are cute.
They are cute, right? Yeah, what else is going on, everybody? How's your week? Was your week good? What do you have plans for the weekend? Oh, we didn't talk about what we were going to talk about.
We just wanted to thank everybody who got one of the Rivers and Rocks and From Great Heights kits that allowed us to make a donation to Touchstone. We didn't take first place, but they didn't do too shabby.
They got second place.
Second place. I don't know if you get anything for second, but at least they raised $50,000. So
yeah, I said if we raised $50,000, we could breathe in one day. That's like a large chunk of our income for the year. That would be nice. Suzanne says, I'm looking at the now, like the mouse and the oval ring. Is that the groovy rings? I like the groovy rings. Andrew showed a lot on how to use the groovy rings. And those are cool. Those are really cool. Susan says, my personal AG Fine pewter piece, favorite one is the heart bird charm pendant.
That's a good one. The
That is
lovebirds.
the lovebirds in the heart shape. Harry says, I started firing my bigger kiln and bisqued a big bunch of Santas. I saw that. I didn't realize you got a new kiln. That's awesome. Or was it a new kiln? It sounded like in the post that it was a newer kiln.
He was talking about doing the sculptures, the geometric ones. You got a kiln, new one. The black ones.
Nice. So yeah, that's good. That's fun. Getting ready for Christmas and the holiday season.
We need to do that.
We do need to do that. I need to get my office cleaned up. We moved the old laser out of my office and the credenza dresser drawer thing that it sat on. And now I have a big hole in my office. And of course, when you move one thing, you have to move a lot of things. So I moved a lot of things around. So I got to clean up my office. That's maybe the weekend work. We'll see.
Well, I was on a Zoom meeting because apparently all I have in my life is Zoom meetings and emails now. And that bag of those rough ruby star sapphire, one of them, a couple of them fell on the floor. And somebody was like, what's that?
What does that look like when you have cats, y'all?
They're like, what's that?
What's that look like, y'all?
Poop. And so I had to turn the video off real fast.
Because he wasn't sure what it was, actually.
Because I saw it in the back of my eye. Apparently, like, I didn't realize why people blurred out the background. Because I was like, that's life,
Yeah, backgrounds are life. They're where you live, right?
It's like, do you really need to blur out your wall? And then I was like, oh, that's why. That's why, in case you
have star rubies that look like poop on your floor.
Yeah, I was like, those are rubies, y'all.
They're actually rubies. As he's holding them up, and people are probably like freaking out. It's really a ruby.
It's a ruby. It's not. It's not from the a-hole.
Harry says it's not new, just not used as often. Bonnie says, I like all the fine pewter pieces. The small kiln had a thermocouple burn out.
Oh, that's happened to us.
Yeah, my mom and I replaced Andrew's one time, which is going to be the kiln that I'm probably going to be using for my pottery whenever that actually happens.
The littlest one.
The littlest kiln. Doesn't it have an expander in it, though? Is that the one that has the expander? I can make it taller?
It can, but you can't go high fire then.
Oh.
You can only do low fire stuff if you use the extender.
Guess I'll be making a little stuff, which is my plan anyway. Bonnie says, I'm eating pretzels and olive hummus.
Sounds good.
Except that
do you
olive
want curry
stuff.
Or do you want stir fry something?
We just had stir fry. Maybe curry would be good. Although I still do kind of want stir fry. Because yours is different than mine. You surprise me.
You're going to have to go to the surprise grocery store. Get some spinach.
Spinach.
No, do you want Indian curry or like Malaysian?
Let's say that I would
curry?
like something that does not make me go to the grocery store. How's that?
I don't think that's possible.
Oh, no. Susan says, tomorrow I'm going to fix a bench drawer that fell out because I stuffed too much into that drawer. I'm stupid. We all stuff too much into drawers.
That happened to me. It was a nightmare extravaganza.
Sunday going to Webster Grove's holiday fair. Nice.
What's that?
I don't know. It sounds good. Holiday fair? I like a holiday fair. Kelly says, making me laugh out loud. Marianne says, what I cleaned out of the litter boxes earlier, right? That's
Correct.
What they look like.
I need to do something. Cynthia tried to warn me because she got the faceted ones and they are beautiful. And I was like, no, I kind of like that they're rough. They're like a part of the earth. And
they are cool. They are cool, everybody. They have the star root, but they also look like that. So
Maybe I can like paint it or something.
I'm just gonna throw it all in the tumbler. That won't do anything though. You gotta polish those.
I'm gonna dig at it in the tumbler.
Cynthia says, I love the ones I picked out, but those sapphires are really cool, even if you think they are poop shaped.
They are poop shaped. There's no thinking. It is.
Susan says, Kitty Tootsie Rolls, right? Right?
Barnaby says, "Oh, you want to talk about Tootsie Rolls?"
Right?
He was like, "I got a life lesson on spice."
Tootsie Roll, Tootsie Roll. Isn't that a
You
song?
like it brown?
Norma says, I've been ordering the Celtic Hearts a lot, but there are all kinds of little creatures I would like to have too. Nice.
I like the mermaid. That's a good one. That one's
There are
based-
multiple mermaids. Which one do you like?
The one that's curled up. That's based off of the.
Sitting like in a little, looks like a little square.
Mm-hmm.
Bonnie says, coconut curry is my favorite.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that. You have to get coconut milk though.
Gotta go anyway. Jermaine says, William, I thought you got a new kiln too not long ago. No.
No, we have to save that.
Yeah, no, I've not gotten a kiln. I can either get my grandmother's old kiln and see if it still works. I can use, Andrew has a kiln for enameling that we got at the cottage. That was years ago now. And he has a PMC kiln down in the basement, which is the one I will probably use.
But it's not just a PMC. It's a high fire kiln.
It just has not been started in years.
because
So
we would put our plants and it's our plant stand. So
no, there's no plant on the kiln. They're just around the kiln as if they're like,
a force field.
right?
The
Yeah.
fortress
So
of
we have not used it.
solitude.
So it may need its thermocouple done again. Who knows? I'll get my mom in here to help me work on it. We have
Yeah, who knows? It hasn't been turned on in years.
Yeah.
So
the swan toggle is so beautiful you can use it as a focal. That's true. Thank you, Amanda.
I like the owl toggle.
The
You
owl
all forgot
toggle.
the owl toggle.
We don't have many of the owl toggles left. They're
What?
almost gone. I know.
What about the cicada toggle? That
The
one's
cicada's cool. I love the swan though. I like how the
Oh,
feather
the
fits in the.
birds. Y'all forgot the birds?
What birds?
Those little birds, the beads that are birds.
The ones you put in the kit
Yes, and from Great
from
Heights.
Great Heights. Yeah, those are cute
Did
little
you
birds.
notice there's a bird with an eyeball and it's looking down at the campus from Great Heights?
There you go.
Or did y'all get that?
I don't know. I didn't get it. What are you talking about?
I try to build stories into stuff.
I know.
When I
Is that how I
use-
took the picture the right way, though? How are they going to get that unless I took the picture the right way?
There's a bird and an eyeball.
I didn't know that.
And the name is From Great Heights.
I knew that because there's a bird up there. I figured that was part of
And there's a song.
it. And a song.
Did you know there's a
I
song
don't
called
know.
that, From
I-
Great Heights?
I don't know titles of songs.
Me neither.
But he knows this one, everybody.
Was it Death Cab for Cutie?
I don't listen to them very
Didn't they
much.
come out with a new
I
one
don't
like
know.
last week?
I don't listen to them. I just said.
You listened to it when it come on the Eminem commercial. He's like, whatever. I'm just gonna shrug.
I don't know. Harry says, we're having tacos for supper.
That sounds good.
Tomorrow, more painting Santas.
That sounds good.
Susan says, craft fair plus holiday concert, horse carriages, and cookies.
I want cookies.
That sounds delightful.
I'm working this weekend. We have to go to the Johnstown building.
What are you working on?
In theory, handmade arcade stuff.
Good. Marion says, we've resorted to poop talk again, right?
The
Everybody
people
finds
baked me.
it finds its way. Susan says, coconut curry, yum. Cynthia says, Diane says hello. We are watching
Hi.
and working.
Hi, Diane.
Hello, Diane. Thank you for watching and working.
You
Kelly,
don't know Diane Owens. Was it Sunny Owens is the name of your company? I can't remember.
put it in the comments. Kelly
Cynthia,
says,
tell it.
Kelly says, come on up, sitting on 3 seasons room. Sitting on 3 seasons room. I don't know what that means.
She's
Maybe I'm
hanging out on the porch.
nice. Is that what that means?
Isn't that what that is?
I'm gonna shrug again. I don't know.
Oh. You're gonna make a dance craze TikTok. They're gonna do a TikTok of you.
Susan says, I've got the closed captioning on. Some of the translations are hilarious. Kiln keeps coming up as kills.
Oh, great. We're going to get
That's like
flagged.
how my text transcribing happens too, because I use that a lot. And it every time I say bead kit, it thinks I'm saying kids. I'm like, that's totally a different sound, but that's what it thinks. There's certain words that I can never get. Bead comes out as beat. Like I'm gonna beat someone. I'm gonna beat the kids. The bead kits are beat
Great.
kids. Yeah, I know, right?
That's not going to be troublesome.
I
Like,
know.
what
I
is it?
know.
What's HRS called now?
Hmm?
Children and Families.
Oh, I was thinking Her Royal. I thought it was like Her Royal Highness, or it's HRH.
No, that one, that Department of Family or whatever, gonna get sent down here.
I know. Don't do it. It's
I
just
know.
it's just transcribing me wrong.
I know. I sometimes I'm chase the cats. I'm like, I'm gonna kiss you. I'm gonna kiss you. You can't run from me. I was like, I wonder what the AI thinks is happening.
I know. Amanda says I made Rockin' Morocco stew. It's vegetarian, so not popular with my family. More for me.
That sounds good.
I don't know what's in it, but vegetarian's good.
I miss Moroccan food.
Marianne says I also like the chickens in the AG line. Chickens.
Oh, those are cute.
Suzanne says I like the frog and the lizard.
Lizard.
Lizard. Amanda says I love the bird. Amanda says OMG, I love the chicken too.
Aren't they cute?
Suzanne says I had a cookie and an apple for lunch.
That sounds good too. I haven't had any good cookies lately. My life.
Your life.
Out of my life.
Kelly says sitting in 3 Seasons room. I guess that's the porch. Is that the porch? Is that what that means?
Yeah, that's a porch.
I've never heard it referred to that ever.
It means you can't sit out there in winter, but you can sit out there in the other 3.
I've never heard it that way. Makes sense. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense.
That's another word for it.
That's a Hawaiian word, right?
In Florida.
Kelly says, I have cookies. Nice. Bonnie says, hoping to see trees down at the cabin.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Hoping to see it. That should be a good thing, right?
Because sometimes when trees go down, it fills me with dread.
Oh, well, trees down or trees location down at the cabin. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't think trees down.
Because there's one tree, there's a branch that's up in the thing, and I'm like hoping the wind blows so that it goes on the neighbor's property. Because it's the neighbor's tree, and it's going to be a nightmare to try to get an arborist to shimmy up
That's
there.
the neighbor. So the neighbor needs to pay for that.
Wow.
Harry
Hopefully
says,
it doesn't fall in the building.
no, it's leaning away from the building enough. Harry says, I've been reading a novel, The Raven Spell by Luann G. Smith, a novel of magic.
That sounds good.
Andrew would like that one.
I'm listening to Deadbeat Druid. Boy, I'm shivering to start that Alice Hoffman one, but I'm nervous because it's only 1.5 hours, like 2 hours.
I know, you got to spend a whole credit on it.
I know. I'm like.
Marianne says it's an enclosed room, but not insulated for winter use. I always call that a sunroom. I've never heard it as a 3 Seasons room. That's the first for me. I've always called those sunrooms. Because most sunrooms you can sit out, but you don't sit out in winter.
We want to turn our porch into it.
I would love our porch to be a sunroom.
It's not actually be sunroom though, because it's on the dark side of the moon.
The dark side of the house. But it'd be nice. And our cats could go out there. That'd be nice. They would love it. What else is going on, everybody? I got to get to the grocery store apparently tonight.
Yeah, we're getting ready for the Handmade Arcade.
Mm-hmm.
The kickoff night is December 2nd, and the day of is December 3rd. So if you're local, be sure to stop out and say hello. We are creating an entire new line of work.
Yep. Things you've never seen from us before.
Saw our planning. I don't know if y'all saw our planning. Maybe it's on the back of that one. It looks terrible because I used Sharpie on the other side.
You use Sharpie on the other side.
I can really read that. So
I know. Boy.
So
we have more paper, you know. You don't have to. You don't have to reuse the same
all right,
sheet.
William. So we're getting ready for that. We're getting ready for New York Jewelry Week, which we're leaving for next week on Tuesday night on the 14th. Is it the 14th? Is Tuesday? Or
I
maybe
don't know.
15th. Anyways, it's the Tuesday night before we leave. And I'm doing a Zoom call with Queerphoria, which is a show that's online that features my brooch that everybody has seen a gajillion times.
Marianne says it's the 15th.
Okay, well, it's that day. And I'll post the link once I know it.
This is the first I'm hearing about this too, everybody.
Well, you know, sometimes things happen. And then
If somebody were to come up and say, "Did you know Andrew was doing it with Queer4?" I would be like, "No, I didn't actually know that." That's one time somebody would.
sometimes I would tell William stuff and he still doesn't know. So you never know what stays and what goes.
Kelly says ours is isolated and has a fireplace, very comfy.
That's nice.
That's fancy.
There's this Swedish lady I follow on Instagram, even though I don't know how to read any of it. And she has this greenhouse that has a fireplace in it. And I was like, I want that.
I want to spend my life in there.
It looks so nice. And she has these dinner parties in there. And it's like so beautiful and magical. I bet people, when they have dinner in there, it's like so transformative. They have their best life experience ever.
Bonnie says, "Come and do a pop-up in Minnesota. I will come."
We used to do Minnesota shows.
No. Andrew has a mysterious side, says Amanda.
It's called I don't like to tell stuff and then it not work out.
Oh, Kelly says it should have been insulated, not isolated. So
Oh.
insulated and has a comfy. Isolated would have been cooler, though.
It's
I don't
both
know.
cool.
Yeah, I wish I had either one. That'd be nice.
Little tiny houses, but then that's more stuff to take care of. So I don't know.
As he talks about getting a new building every day.
Be quiet. Unless you're on board, then you have to
Just
step
get out of the way.
Correct. I just need about $60,000 in good credit. It's not too much to ask for, right? If Touchstone can do it in one day and they only have 3,000 followers on Facebook, so that means probably not going to happen.
Right.
But you never know. We could win the lotto.
We could. We play once in a while.
We didn't get that billions.
Only one person did. Did you see though that person who got billions? The shop who sold it to them, the convenience store. The guy came from Syria, I think, in 1983, with $14,000 or $1,400, something like that, to start his business, and now he's a millionaire because he sold the winning lottery ticket.
That's awesome.
Because they get a kickback. Yep. So
kickback.
I know.
Let's start selling tickets.
I know. Everybody, when you sell tickets, the store that you sell, whoever wins, they get a little bit. So that was a nice story. That was a small business story, right?
Yeah, I love happy stories.
I know. Small business happy story. That's about it. I think that's all I got. We're gonna go get some dinner.
Well,
Apparently, I'm going to the grocery store, and then we got to do.
Kits.
Then we got to do. Yeah, and if we don't get off here, we're not going to do any of those tonight. So
we are.
He says that, and I get tired, y'all. I don't stay up like he does.
Worry.
And today I've been very tired. Have y'all been tired today? I've been talking to people. A lot of people have been very tired today.
Because it's gray and dark out.
Yeah, but I sometimes have energy on those days.
I don't know. If the sun's not out, I'm tired. Unless it's nighttime, and then that's different.
So somehow that's different.
Correct, because it's different. I'm a night owl, so
Jermaine says that could be a new income stream for you, lottery ticket sales. Could be.
I don't know if that's legal.
You know what else is an income stream now? YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So please watch our YouTube channel, everybody. Watch our rewatches there.
Are you allowed to tell them that?
I can say watch our YouTube. Who can't say watch the YouTube, everybody? We love YouTube. But yeah, so that's it. We're going to get to work. So I'm going to get some groceries, and then we're going to start working on these all my little word magnets / artwork. So we can get those hopefully online tonight for you. And if we do, we'll probably do another video late at night. So get ready.
I'll try not to wear rags, which I'm currently
currently in. So we'll try and maybe do a video. If not, we'll at least share pictures. And if you're on our text message list, if we do get them up and ready before tomorrow, I will schedule a text message to go out in the morning for y'all.
But if you want first dibs, keep an eye open.
Yeah, you got to keep an eye open. We'll send an email tonight because email's not as invasive as text in the middle of the night.
I wouldn't mind, but some people get sensitive.
Yeah, I don't want to do a text to everybody at 3 a.m. Some people have their phones on. Bing!
Emergency.
And wake you up at 3 a.m. and you're like, Allegory Gallery. No, we don't need that.
No, I
So-
can just imagine the email.
I was going to schedule because I scheduled a text message for the kits for the Touchstone thing, and I almost scheduled it for 8 a.m. And then I thought about it, and I'm like, but that's 5 a.m. in California. And I was like, oops, I better schedule that for a different time
Correct.
because it doesn't do it by time zone. It just does it whenever you set it. So I scheduled it for like 10:30. I was like, if you're not up by 7:30, that's still daytime for people, most people.
I don't know. All right, bye. See ya.
Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend. If we see you again tonight, we'll see you there. If not, have a great one. Bye, everybody. Andrew's already down the stairs.